Welcome to Half Double Crochet. Let's crochet together. Today we want to crochet this cute little sheep for Easter. This project was so much fun and you'll get that cute little friend for decoration or as a gift for a little person. So let's start. You'll need chenille yarn and I used some pink and some purple chenille yarn, and then you'll also need some cotton yarn and I used this off-white color. Then you'll need two different crochet hooks. I used a 5mm for the chenille yarn and 3.5mm for the cotton yarn. Then a stitch marker and a darning needle and two pins for the eyes. You'll also need some stuffing wool. We start with the pink chenille yarn and we'll do a magic ring by wrapping the yarn around two fingers. Then we insert the 5mm hook, grab the yarn, pull it out and twist the hook to create a small loop. Grab the yarn from the outside and pull it through that small loop and you have a magic ring. Then we'll start with 6 single crochets into that magic ring. So you insert the hook, grab the yarn, pull it out. You have 2 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through 2 loops. And this is a single crochet into the magic ring. We'll need 6 single crochets in total. When you have 6 single crochets, you can pull on the shorter end of the yarn and your magic ring will close. And this is your first round. For the second round, we want to increase in each stitch. So you insert your hook into the first single crochet of the first round. Grab the yarn, pull through. You have the 2 loops, yarn over and pull through. And this is the first single crochet of the second round. And this is why we put a stitch marker into that stitch. So we'll always know where the first stitch of each round is. Now we insert the hook into the same stitch and we do a second single crochet, and this is how we increase. Into each stitch of the former round, we'll put 2 single crochets. So by the end of the second round, we have 12 single crochets. For the third round, we want to do 1 single crochet and increase in the next. Single crochet, increase, and so on. So we'll do our first single crochet of the third round, and this is where we put our stitch marker in. And for the next stitch, we will increase. So you insert the hook and you'll do a single crochet, insert the hook into the same stitch and do a second single crochet, and this is an increase. Then single crochet, increase, and so on. So this was our third round. For the fourth round, we want to do single crochet, and then increase. Single crochet, then increase. So we'll do our first single crochet of the fourth round. Put a stitch marker in. Do another single crochet into the next stitch in here. And then we want to increase into that stitch. So after the first single crochet, insert the hook into the same stitch and do a second single crochet. So 1, 2, increase, 1, 2, increase. For the next round, we want to do 3 single crochets before the increase. 1, 2, 3, increase, 1, 2, 3, increase. So we'll do our first single crochet, put the stitch marker in, and then we need 2 more single crochets into the next 2 stitches. So now we have 3 single crochets and then comes the increase. So we'll do a single crochet and then another one. And this is how we continue in this round. 1, 2, 3, increase, 1, 2, 3, increase. For the 6th round, we want to do 1, 2, 3, 4, increase, 1, 2, 3, 4, increase. So we'll do 4 single crochets before the increase in the 6th round. This is the first single crochet, so we'll put the stitch marker in, and then we'll do 3 more single crochets into the next 3 stitches, and then 1 more before the increase. So in the next stitch, we will do an increase, which means that we'll do 2 single crochets. And this is how we continue in this round. 1, 2, 3, 4, and increase, and so on. In the next round, which is the 7th round, we will do 11 single crochets and then increase. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and then we'll increase. So we'll do our first single crochet, put the stitch marker in, and then we'll need 10 more single crochets. And now we'll do the increase. So insert the hook again, do a second one. And we'll do that 3 times in total, 11 single crochets before the increase. Now comes the 8th round, and for the 8th and for the 9th round, we'll do a single crochet into each stitch without any increases. So you simply do a single crochet wherever you see a stitch from the former round until you reach the stitch marker again, and you'll do that for 2 rounds. For the next round, we want to do a single crochet into each stitch, again without any increases, but we want to work the single crochets into the front loop only. So instead of inserting your hook under both loops, you insert your hook only under the front loop, which is closer to you, and you put the single crochet only into that front loop. And we want to do that for the whole round into each stitch until we reach the stitch marker again. So here you can see I'm inserting the hook only into the front loop, and I'm working the single crochets into that. So for the next round, we want to do some puff stitches. We'll start the round with a slip stitch. So insert the hook under both loops again, grab the yarn and pull through. This is a slip stitch. Insert your stitch marker into that first stitch of this round, and then we'll do a puff stitch. You yarn over, insert the hook into the next stitch, grab the yarn and pull it out. Yarn over, insert the hook again, grab the yarn and pull it out, and the third time. Yarn over, insert the hook, grab the yarn and pull it out. And then you'll yarn over and pull through all those loops. And this is a puff stitch. You finish the puff stitch with a chain, and then into the next stitch we'll do a slip stitch, and we'll repeat this 13 times. So again, we start with a slip stitch, then comes a puff stitch, yarn over, insert the hook, grab the yarn, pull it out. Yarn over, insert the hook, grab the yarn, pull it out. Third time, yarn over, insert the hook, grab the yarn, pull it out. Yarn over and pull through all those loops, and then chain 1. And then comes again a slip stitch. So in between all those puff stitches, there are always 2 slip stitches. And you repeat that until you reach the stitch marker again. So the last stitch before the stitch marker should be a slip stitch. And then we are done with the chenille yarn here. You can remove the slip stitch and do a finishing knot, and after that we can continue with the cotton yarn. So this is the hat of our little sheep, and now we can do the face part of the hat. We will need the smaller hook for that, so the 3.5 millimeter and the cotton yarn, and we'll start again with a magic ring. Insert the hook, grab the yarn, pull it out, twist the hook, grab the yarn from the outside and pull through that small loop, and this is your magic ring. And again here we will start with 6 single crochets into that magic ring. Insert the hook, grab the yarn, pull it out, yarn over and pull through. This is a single crochet into the magic ring, and we'll need 6 of these single crochets for our first round. When you've done 6 single crochets, pull the shorter end of the yarn and your magic ring will close. For the next round, we want to increase into each stitch. So insert your hook into the first single crochet, grab the yarn, yarn over and pull through. This is our first single crochet of the second round. So this is where we put our stitch marker in. And then insert your hook into the same stitch again, and we'll do a second single crochet into the same stitch, and this is an increase. And we want to do this for every stitch of the former round. So we will do 6 increases, which means that for the second round we will do 12 single crochets. And this was our second round. For the third round we want to do a single crochet increase, and so on. So we'll do our first single crochet of this round, put a stitch marker in, and we want to increase in the next stitch. So for the next stitch we will insert the hook and we will do a single crochet, and then insert the hook into the same stitch and do another one, and this is the increase. And this is how we will continue for the whole round. Single crochet, increase, and so on. For the next round we will do 2 single crochets before the increase. So we'll do our first single crochet of the current round, put a stitch marker in, and then we'll do a single crochet into the next stitch as well. And then we want to increase into the third stitch here. And this is how we will do this round. 1, 2, increase, 1, 2, increase. For the next round we will do 3 single crochets before the increase. 1, 2, 3, increase, 1, 2, 3, increase. So we'll do the first single crochet of this round, put a stitch marker in. Then we will need 2 more single crochets into the next 2 stitches, here and here. And then we want to increase in the next stitch, so here. And this is how we will continue this round. 1, 2, 3, increase, 1, 2, 3, increase. So we continued this pattern until we have 9 rounds. We started the first round with 6 single crochets into the magic ring. In the second round we increased in each stitch. In the third round we did a single crochet before the increase, and we repeated that for the whole round. In the fourth round we did 2 single crochets before each increase. In the fifth round we did 3 single crochets before each increase. In the sixth we did 4. In the seventh we did 5. In the eighth we did 6. And in the 9th round we did 7 single crochets before each increase, which means we did 7 single crochets, increase, and we repeated that 6 times until we reached the stitch marker again. And now we have reached our 10th round, and for the next 8 rounds, so round 10 till 18, we simply want to do a single crochet into each stitch without any increases. So wherever you see a stitch, just put a single crochet in until you reach the stitch marker, and you do that for 8 rounds. And then this is how your crochet piece will look like. This is basically the face part of our head, and we can finish this part off with a slip stitch. So insert your hook, grab the yarn and pull through. And then we'll do a finishing knot, and we can leave some yarn so that we can sew the head part with the hat part later on. Now we can take the 2 pins that we will use for the eyes. So you can count 5 rows up and insert the first pin at a random place into the 5th row, and then you count 8 stitches to the right. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and insert the second pin there. Then we'll take a darning needle and some of the same yarn, and we will create a Y shape. So you can insert the darning needle 2 stitches away from the eye, and then from there go 2 or 3 rows down and then up again to create a Y shape. So now we have a cute little face, and we can sew the face part to the hat. When you look at the hat, you can see that there's this rim on the inside, and we will sew the face part to that rim. So we will insert the darning needle and we will sew the two parts together in a zigzag pattern. So you first insert the needle in one direction and then again under both loops of the stitches from the face part towards me and then away from me and then again under the rim. And this is how we sew them together in a zigzag pattern until we reach almost the point where we started sewing. When we're almost done, we have to stuff the hat. So simply put some stuffing wool into the hat until it's as firm as you want it to be, and then continue sewing until the whole face part is sewn to the hat part. And then we're done with that, and we can continue with the ears. We start with a magic ring again, insert the hook, grab the yarn, pull it out, twist the hook, grab the yarn from the outside and pull through. This is your magic ring, and we will start with 6 single crochets into the magic ring. So you can insert your hook into the magic ring, grab the yarn, pull it out, you have the 2 loops, yarn over and pull through, and this is a single crochet into the magic ring, and we want to have 6 single crochets in total. When we have the 6 single crochets, you can pull on the shorter end of the yarn and your magic ring will close, and this is your first round for the ears. For the next round, we want to do a single crochet before the increase. So insert your hook into the first single crochet of the first round, and we'll do a single crochet here. Don't forget to insert the stitch marker, and then we want to increase into the next stitch. So here we will increase, single crochet, increase, single crochet, increase, until we have 9 single crochets in that second round. Single crochet, increase, single crochet, increase. For the next round, we want to do 2 single crochets before each increase. So here I'm doing the first single crochet of this round. Then again, put a stitch marker in. Then we will do another single crochet into the next stitch. And then we want to increase in here. So we do a single crochet, insert the hook again into the same stitch, do a second one, and this is how we will continue in this round. 1, 2, increase, 1, 2, increase. For the next 3 rounds, so round 4 till 6, we want to do a single crochet into each stitch without any increases. So you do the single crochets until you reach the stitch marker again, and you'll do that for 3 rounds. For the 7th round, we want to do 2 single crochets before we decrease. So we'll do a single crochet in here. This is our first single crochet of the 7th round. So we'll do we'll put a stitch marker in. Then we will do another single crochet, and then we will decrease. So for a decrease, you have to insert your hook into the next stitch, grab the yarn, pull it out, then insert the hook into the next stitch, grab the yarn, pull it out, yarn over and pull through, and this is a decrease. So you created one single crochet out of two single crochets, and this is how you will continue in this round. Two single crochets, 1, 2, and then decrease. When you've done that, you can remove the stitch marker, and then you pinch your crochet piece together, insert the hook into the next stitch, so the first stitch of the former round, and into the last stitch here, grab the yarn, pull it out, and then do a single crochet, so yarn over and pull through. And then again, you insert the hook into the next stitch and into the stitch that is exactly opposite of that, yarn over and pull through. And you'll do that 2 more times. So in here and here. And then a last one for the last 2 stitches. Then we'll do a finishing knot, and you leave some yarn because we need that for the sewing. And of course we'll need 2 of these ears, and to give them the right shape, just pinch the upper part and then pinch down here, and this is how they will look like cute little ears for our sheep. Then we have 2 ears, and we can continue with the legs. Do a magic ring again. Grab the yarn, pull it out, twist the hook, grab the yarn and pull through. And also for the legs, we will do 6 single crochets into the magic ring. So insert the hook, grab the yarn, pull it out. You have 2 loops, yarn over and pull through. This is a single crochet into the magic ring, and you will need 6 single crochets. When you have the 6 single crochets, pull on the shorter end of the yarn and your magic ring will close. And this is your first round for the legs. For the next round, we want to increase in each stitch. So insert the hook into the first stitch of the first round. Then we'll do a single crochet here. Put a stitch marker in so you always know where your starting point is. Then insert the hook into the same stitch again, and we'll do another single crochet, and you will do that for each stitch. So by the end of the second round, you've done 12 single crochets. We will increase in each stitch. When you've done that for the next 8 rounds, so round 3 till 10, we will do a single crochet into each stitch without any increases. So you'll simply do a single crochet until you reach the stitch marker, and you'll do that for 8 rounds. When you've done that, this is how our little leg looks like. You can use some stuffing wool, just a little bit, to stuff the lower part of the leg. Just stuff it down there so the upper part is still empty. And then we will crochet the upper parts together the same as we did with the ears. So pinch the upper part together, insert your hook into the next stitch and into the last stitch, all the way back here. Grab the yarn, pull through, and we'll do a single crochet. So yarn over, pull through, and then again insert the hook into the next stitch and the stitch that is exactly opposite of that, and do a single crochet, and you'll do that until you reach the end of the row. Then when you've done that, we'll do a finishing knot and again leave some yarn for the sewing. And of course we will need 4 legs. And then we can continue with the body part. So you'll take your chenille yarn again, do a magic ring, insert the hook, grab the yarn, pull it out, twist the hook, grab the yarn from the outside and pull through. This is your magic ring. And also here we will do 6 single crochets into the magic ring. So insert your hook into the ring, grab the yarn, pull it out. You have 2 loops, yarn over and pull through. This is a single crochet, and we will need 6 single crochets into the magic ring. When you have 6 single crochets, pull on the shorter end of the yarn and your magic ring will close. And this is your first round for the body part. In the second round, we want to increase in each stitch. So insert the hook into the first single crochet of the first round, grab the yarn and do a single crochet. Then we'll put a stitch marker in. This is the first single crochet of the second round. Insert your hook into the same stitch again and do a second single crochet, and this is an increase. And we will do that for each stitch of the first round. So by the end of the second round, we will have 12 single crochets. For the next round, we will do a single crochet before each increase. So single crochet, increase, single crochet, increase, and so on. We'll do our first single crochet of this round, and we will put a stitch marker in. And in the next stitch, we want to increase. So not only 1 single crochet, but we will do 2 single crochets into that stitch. And this is how we will continue in this round. 1 single crochet, increase, single crochet, increase, and so on. For the next round, we want to do 2 single crochets before each increase. 1, 2, increase, 1, 2, increase, and so on. So we'll do our first single crochet of this round, put a stitch marker in, and then we will do another single crochet, and in the next stitch we want to increase. And this is how we continue in this round. 1, 2, increase, 1, 2, increase. In the next round, we will do 3 single crochets before each increase. 1, 2, 3, increase, 1, 2, 3, increase. So we do our first single crochet of this round, put a stitch marker in. Then we will do 2 more single crochets into the next 2 stitches. And then we want to increase in here. And this is how we continue. 1, 2, 3, increase, 1, 2, 3, increase, and so on. For the next round, we want to do 9 single crochets before each increase. So increase here, and then again 9 single crochets before the increase. So after 9 single crochets, here comes the increase, and then we will repeat that 2 more times. So 9 single crochets, increase here, 9 single crochets, increase here. For the next 4 rounds, we want to do a single crochet into each stitch without any increases. So you do a single crochet until you reach your stitch marker again, and you will do that for 4 rounds. And this is how that looks like now. For the next round, we will do 9 single crochets before a decrease. So this is the first single crochet here of the 11th round. Put a stitch marker in. And then you'll need 8 more single crochets. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then decrease here. So I will do now 9 single crochets in total of this round. So after 9 single crochets, I will do a decrease, insert the hook, grab the yarn, insert the hook into the next stitch, grab the yarn, you have 3 loops, yarn over and pull through, and this is a decrease. And I will do that for 3 times in that round. 9 single crochets, decrease. For the next round, I want to do a color change. So I insert the hook into the stitch, grab the yarn, pull it out. Then I will not finish the single crochet. I will take my purple chenille yarn and I will hold down the 2 ends with my middle finger and I will finish that single crochet with the purple chenille yarn. And now I can continue with the purple yarn and do another single crochet into the next stitch. And then another one. And then before we continue with the purple yarn, I want to make a little knot into the 2 ends of the yarn just to be sure that nothing gets loose while crocheting. So I take the 2 yarns, the pink one and the purple one, and I make a little knot so that everything is secure. And now I can simply continue with the purple yarn. We will do 9 single crochets in this round in total until we decrease again. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and now I will decrease, insert the hook, grab the yarn, insert the hook, grab the yarn, yarn over and pull through, and this is a decrease. And I will repeat that until I reach my stitch marker again. 9 single crochets and then a decrease here, and then again close to the stitch marker. For the next round, I want to do a single crochet into each stitch without any D or increases. So wherever you see a single crochet, just put a single crochet on top of it. This is my first single crochet of the current round. So this is where I put the stitch marker in, and then I continue with the single crochets until I reach the stitch marker again. So for the next round, I want to do 3 single crochets before the decrease. So we'll do 1, 2, 3, and then decrease, and repeat that until we reach the stitch marker. So this is my first single crochet of this round. This is where I put my stitch marker in, then 2 more single crochets into the next 2 stitches, and then comes the decrease. Insert the hook, grab the yarn, insert the hook into the next stitch, grab the yarn, yarn over and pull through. And we repeat that until we reach the stitch marker. 3 single crochets, decrease. 3 single crochets, decrease. 1, 2, 3, decrease, and so on. For the next round, we will do again a single crochet into each stitch without any D or increases. Just put a single crochet on top of each single crochet of the former round until you reach your stitch marker again. And for the last round, you will do 2 single crochets before the decrease. So 1, 2, decrease, and so on. So I'll do my first single crochet of this last round, put a stitch marker in, and then another single crochet into the next stitch. And then comes the decrease. Insert the hook, grab the yarn, insert the hook, grab the yarn, yarn over and pull through. And I repeat that until I reach the stitch marker. 1, 2, decrease. And then again. And again and again. Now we can finish this part with a slip stitch. So insert your hook into the next stitch, grab the yarn and pull through. And then you'll do a finishing knot, and then this part is done as well. And now we can start sewing everything together. I will start with the arms and the legs, and you sew the legs on the body part 2 rows down from the top, and I again use a zigzag pattern, so I sew into one direction and then through the body part and the arm into the other direction, and this is how I connect the 2 parts. The second arm is 7 stitches away from the first, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So here into that stitch I will sew the second arm, also in a zigzag pattern. And then the legs are sewn on 4 rows from the bottom, here exactly under the arms, here on the one side, and then also 4 rows from the bottom up on the other side. And then when we have that, we will sew on the ears. The ears you can sew on here when you lift up the rim of your hat. You can see a cotton line, and I will sew the ear on here. So under here, under this cotton rim, also in a zigzag pattern. And then our cute little sheep has ears. Then we can pull the head down again, and all we need to do now is sew the head to the body part. But first we have to stuff the body part. So take some stuffing wool and stuff the body. And then we take our darning needle again and we simply sew the head on top of the body, also in a zigzag pattern. So you insert the hook into the face part, the cotton part here, and try to come out 2 stitches to the left. And then again into the body part in the next stitch here, and then again into the other direction in the next stitch, and then again into the head part until you've reached your starting point again. And this is our cute little sheep for the Eastern decoration. It turned out so cute. I love the little ears and the head, and my kids love it as well. I hope you have fun crocheting.